Hi guys, so welcome to the channel. My name's John, and obviously this is the Miniature Hobbyist, where I, print, make and paint things. So I've had the channel for about 4 years now. It's only the last couple of years that I've really started to enjoy painting miniatures. And I guess the main reason for that is dry brushing, speed paints and washes. And they've given me so much enjoyment that I can now paint things like this, thoroughly enjoy the whole painting process, and really pleased with how miniatures come out. Whereas if you watch my video or seen some of my earlier videos from over 2 years ago, you'll hear me often say I hate painting miniatures. Whereas now I'm painting miniatures every day because I absolutely love it. So I'm going to go through and show obviously the basic techniques that I use, and the things that have given me the love of painting miniatures. But first, I guess we better talk about the actual miniature itself, where to get it from, and well, what I did to get it this far. So about 90% of the miniatures I actually paint are 3D printed, and as you guys know, I love 3D printing stuff. And one of the main places that I go to get things is my mini factory. And they have hundreds of awesome sculptors there, and someone I use quite a bit, and that's Soul Good Creations. As well, as you'll be able to see, all their miniatures are so highly detailed, and this is where in the past, highly detailed miniatures would scare me off something rotten. But with this sort of technique of painting, these are the best ones to paint because, well, they just look absolutely amazing. So the one I've gone for is this nice big chunky troll, and as you can see, yeah, absolutely tons of detail in this. Even like the skin has got texture in it, which is just awesome. And as I say, this sort of painting technique is going to work wonders with this big chap. So I downloaded the files and printed them off on my ELEGOO Saturn 4 Ultra. Again guys, all links down below to everything I kind of use in my videos. So I've had this printed quite a while, and yeah, awesome results. I love the fact I can take the build plate off with one hand, so no unscrewing of any bolts there. And then there, look, everything's come out perfectly. That's the other thing I mentioned about Soul Good Creations. Yeah, everything pre-supported and, well, works wonderfully. There are just a couple of things I need to do with the print before I can actually paint it, and that's to wash and cure it. And as you can see, yeah, I've got some ELEGOO wash and cure station here. And it simply is a case of popping it in this little container, which contains isopropyl alcohol. The one I've got is 99.9%. And yeah, that helps clean everything. Obviously wearing the gloves there for protection because, well, the resin hasn't cured or been cleaned on this thing. So both the wash and cure station both have timers, which is great because I can just set them going, go off, and, well, do some other little bits and pieces. So you could clean the miniatures in a bucket with a brush, but obviously this is a lot easier. And then this bit, well, I always feel like I'm in a fish and chip shop emptying out the bits. So these are all clean, but they just need curing now. But before I cure them, I like to take the supports off, because when you do cure them, obviously that's what makes them, well, harder. You are, madam. So yeah, put them in for about 5 minutes, let them cure. So this can be done by putting these items out in the sun. Obviously it's a bit difficult if you're not somewhere where it's sunny. And here in the UK, yeah, we're lucky to get sun during the summer. Anyway, enough of that waffle. So they go in, and then this is how they look. And then it's just a simple case of, well, gluing all the bits together using super glue. And yeah, as I say, this miniature, every single piece of it is, again, highly detailed. And this would have put me off in the past, but now I almost look for miniatures that are so highly detailed as well. The slap chop painting technique, speed painting, works perfectly. So generally I do prime miniatures in black, but sometimes it's fun to try them in a different colour, because obviously this does affect how the speed paint will look, well, over the top. And then dry brushing, yeah, love a bit of dry brushing. Simple and easy to do, very effective though. So using my textured dry brush palette, load up the brush with white, then sort of basically rub most of it off to get enough that obviously when I'm dry brushing, all the raised areas, yeah, they're going to be hit and obviously go a bit whiter. And obviously the nooks and crannies are going to stay dark. And this is how he looks. So again, I love painting, guys. I can't say it enough. So if you're new to the channel, you might think, well, yeah, you're a miniature hobbyist, you're painting. But if you ever look at my, seriously, look at some of my older videos. Even I look at them and I do chuckle and laugh. So much so that when I first started, I had an orc that I painted. And I named him the Lonely Orc because he was literally the only miniature I painted. And even then, I think he was kind of like half painted for about 6 months because, yeah, I just didn't enjoy painting at all. Whereas now, it's so simple, so easy, and it's all thanks to, well, contrast paints, speed paints, dipping inks, whatever it is you may be using. Yeah, they do all the work for you, really. Yes, again, obviously trying out different colours. I haven't used this sort of skin colour before. Very, very wet, watery. Again, guys, I don't know technical terms. I use very much layman's terms. And to me, yeah, this paint is very wet. Very watery. But yeah, it does dry pretty cool. So again, this is where it's worth trying different paints. I do normally stick to certain ones. But yeah, again, this hobby, it's all about trying new things, trying out different techniques, obviously watching what other people do, and then sort of adapting what they do to what sort of you enjoy. And again, this is something you'll hear me say a whole lot. This hobby is about enjoying what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, yeah, do something different. As I say, obviously when I first started, yeah, didn't enjoy painting miniatures, but I loved making things. So that's kind of what this channel started from, was me making stuff. Obviously I'm quite old. Well, some would say very old. I know my kids do. Yes, I was brought up on sort of Blue Peter, Take Heart, that sort of stuff back in the good old 70s and well, early 80s. So yeah, making stuff out of nothing was kind of how this channel started. But now with progression, obviously 3D printing is a big part of what I do because, well, I'm a big kid, and the ability to print out miniatures, basically like toys, in your own place is just amazing. And yeah, absolutely love it. Anyway, enough of that kind of waffle about me. I'm sure you don't want to hear any more of that. But obviously, in the video, you can see exactly what I'm doing. And this is where, say, the speed paints for me, the fact that these ones do, obviously, they pool in the recesses, so they get nice and dark. And in the raised areas, they're obviously a lot lighter, which is just awesome. This is the reason when I first started painting, I wasn't very good. I could literally spend hours and hours painting one miniature, didn't enjoy any of the process, and the thing came out looking absolutely dire. So one thing I will say, obviously when you do get your paints, first thing I always do, paint the lids. And as you can see, Speed Painter, the Army Painter ones, there's such a big choice. Like tons of browns, tons of greens. So you don't even have to like mix any paints. You should be able to find the kind of colour you're looking for, which is awesome. And again, obviously the other reason with painting the lids, some of the paints, they have a picture on the front, obviously to show what they look like. Sometimes they're a little bit misleading. There's only about 3 or 4, but there's some that are just so different when you actually paint them. So with the lids, I slap chop painted them, as in I primed them in black, dry brushed white, and then yeah, went over with whatever colour speed paint was in there. So yeah, as you can see, this thing, it doesn't take long at all, and that's the other thing I love, which is obviously what Army Painter do say. There's more time for gaming, less time spent painting, and that is just so true, because obviously these paints do all the hard work, and it is just easy just chucking it on. And that's the other thing, guys, when I first started painting, I was too particular, as in I tried to take my time because I thought you had to. I tried to like not go over lines or go over edges, and I was always worrying about making mistakes, and I think that's kind of what put me off painting. So that's why, again, I didn't really enjoy it when I first started. And I think the problem is when you put too much pressure on yourself, you won't enjoy it, and you'll probably make more mistakes, because anything little you do wrong, you're then like, oh man, what's the point of doing this? So yeah, I care less, which is kind of, I think, the way to go. So don't worry about going over an edge. Don't worry about doing something wrong. And that's the other thing. Try new things. As you'll see, I've now started doing washes over speed paints. Something I never used to do. In fact, I have done some speed paints over speed paints. Just because, again, they give you this variation in whatever sort of colour you're painting. Whether it's skin tones, fur, whatever it might be. Yeah, doing a variety of colours over the top of themselves gives you, yeah, so much more, I don't know, it's like depth. Again, this is where I wish I knew the proper terminology when it came to painting. But for me, they just make things not so flat. I think that's the problem I had when I first started painting. I painted in colours, block colours, everything looked as flat and as, well, as dull as anything. Whereas speed paints is great, dry brushing, awesome, and then chucking washes over stuff, yeah, it just changes things and makes things look a bit more, well, realistic, but obviously for miniatures. Anyway, I'm waffling again, I can't help myself, it's just what I do. Yeah, guys, if you are new to the channel and you like what I do and you don't mind a bit of waffle, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, as I do produce several videos each week. Although next month I'm going to have a go at doing, if I can, I'm going to paint one miniature a day, which is easy enough, painting the miniature, but obviously I want to make a video every day. So that's the bit that's going to be tricky, because obviously painting a miniature, yeah, it doesn't take long at all. Editing videos takes quite a bit of time. As well as when I do paint miniatures, obviously I am adjusting the camera, making sure, well, I try and get the miniature in focus, but obviously in this case you can just see my hand. So yeah, but next month I am going to have a go at doing a miniature a day for the whole month. So it'd be great for you guys if you can share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, as that'll keep me motivated to try and do miniature. Plus I'm going to try and get through a lot of Hero Quest miniatures, and I got quite a lot of Warhammer miniatures in boxes. So I will be doing some 3D printing, but I am going to try and get through my pile of opportunity. I know that's kind of what the term they use now. So yeah, so you're using washes. So the skin tone came out not too bad, but I definitely want to make obviously the troll look different to the lady. So yeah, doing a wash over the top. Again, I've not done sort of this kind of thing. Again, try new things, guys. It's always worth trying new things, because that's the only way you're really going to find out if something works and if you like it. This is where obviously when it comes to painting, we are all different. We're all going to like different styles, different techniques. We're going to like different, well, the look and final outcome of something as well. So again, this is the reason why don't worry about what other people are doing. Just enjoy what you're doing. And I know I certainly enjoy what I'm doing. I do watch a lot of painters, because obviously, yeah, you're going to pick up tips, tricks, and you might sort of see something you're like, oh, I've not seen that before or done that before. And then, yeah, give it a go yourself, as that is the only way you're really going to sort of know if something works and if you enjoy it, which, like I always say, that's the main thing with this hobby. You need to enjoy what you're doing. As for me, this is kind of like an escape from, well, real world issues and what's going on. I can just sit here in my own little bubble painting away, or I can sit here now waffling on talking to you guys. Yeah, again, making videos, even though I've been doing this for 4 years, it is still weird. I am sitting at a desk on my own waffling away, and then obviously you guys are going to watch this and, well, hear me waffling. So like I always say though, anything you want to see me do on this channel, by all means let me know. Obviously there's a lot of stuff I do and I've got a lot of ideas of what I want to do, but sometimes when someone suggests something that I've not even thought about, or a new game, so obviously most of the stuff I do is kind of like D&D related and Warhammer related, but yeah, I do like sort of hearing what you guys, well, suggest me to do, and in different board games, or if you know a 3D artist that has some awesome miniatures you think I might be interested in, yeah, let me know in the comments. So obviously his axe, nice and rusty, add a little bit of the blood. Again, this is something I love doing for the blood, is putting on the, this is the speed paint I'm putting on, so it's nice and wet and watery, but then dabbing it with my finger, because this helps dry certain areas. Again, it's about making it irregular. So some parts of the blood look fresh, some parts look like they've been dried on there for ages. And yeah, again, simple techniques is what I love. Because keeping it simple means it's fun, it's quick, it's easy, and enjoyable. So a bit more dry brushing. Again, dry brushing speed paints. This is definitely a winner for me. So dry brushing, especially the rocks there, obviously a bit too much first time. Yeah, it just sort of makes the edges highlight and make them look like they're, well, a bit worn away where they've been sort of trodden on, walked on, or things are like brushed over them. So yeah, highlighting. And again, this is where you get more definition in one sort of area, as in these rocks. So they've got some darker areas, lighter areas, and then obviously these raised areas are very much lit up. Simple, but it does make it look so much better. So yeah, dry brushing, speed paints, washes, and then dry brushing again is definitely a bit of a winner here, and it doesn't take hardly any time at all, which, as I say, for me is just awesome, because I do love painting miniatures. As much as obviously some people will spend like 10 hours, 20 hours, even maybe 50 hours on a miniature, and that's great for them. But for me, yeah, I like to get a miniature, have fun painting it, and then yeah, move on to another miniature, because I do get distracted quite easily. And I think that's why I do waffle in my videos. If you've watched any of my live streams, yeah, you'll see I waffle so much because I get distracted and go off different tangents. Anyway, I love painting this miniature. So go and check out Soul Good Creations. Absolute ton of awesome looking miniatures, as well as my mini factory in general. So lots of great stuff there. If you are looking for a 3D printer, yeah, ELEGOO, they do a whole range of 3D printers, and it's great because they obviously work for different needs. So they do bigger printers, smaller printers, and different prices as well. So you'll find something there for, well, probably everyone's budget. And if you are still here watching this video, yeah, I certainly appreciate that, as I know this video is longer than my typical ones. But then I know some of you guys do seem to like watching the longer videos, as well as the chances are you're probably sitting at your desk painting your miniature, or whatever it is you might be doing, or gaming, or whatever. So yeah, I do know that you guys sometimes just like to have me on in the background, which is fair enough. Or maybe you want to have me on the background when you're falling off to sleep, because my voice will, well, put you to sleep. So yeah, I kind of got carried away. Generally I just dry brush sort of rocky areas. I thought I'm going to go at just dry brushing kind of everything really. So yeah, obviously different colours to do the dry brushing. So I've got that jasper skin sort of tone there. Again, I think it just helps with a miniature getting a variety of sort of like colours going on. So even with his skin has got a variety of sort of tones in it, starting with like the pinky colour. Then it obviously does have quite a bit of the reddish colour into it, and then going over and giving a bit more of a pinky tone. So even with the female barbarian, she looks very washed out on the screen. She did have more colour obviously in real life, but as you'll soon see, I kind of thought, yeah, I'm going to change her up as well, because she did look a little bit anemic. Obviously just going to go around and quickly paint the base black, just because that kind of finishes things off. But yeah, so even the female barbarian, well, started off by giving her a bit of a wash. And again, the washes, these are really cool because they pull in the nooks and crannies, give you sort of darker areas and obviously lighter areas in the raised areas. Plus I do like my miniatures to have kind of like a grim dark style. I like them to look kind of dirty, used, abused, worn, beaten, kind of whatever term you may want to use. So yeah, so even my little female barbarian here, yeah, she's not had a shower for a few days, so she can look a little bit dirty here and there. And again, it just so simple but effective. Love how this miniature has come out, and I've certainly enjoyed my painting journey over the last couple of years, as yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. So I'm hoping guys you can take something from this. Say most of my videos are sort of aimed at new painters that aren't sort of enjoying what they're doing and want to try something new. Yeah, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this, what you might want to see me do in the future, and like, share and subscribe, and say guys, yeah, share where possible, as I really want to try and get to obviously 100,000 subscribers, well, very soon, and I better do that with your help. Okay guys, well, you all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.